Well, Charlie, I'll get started. I really enjoyed the movie. It just made me sad that we didn't have a sort of a campus bus when I went to college or university over in England. But I was wondering what it was about this character and about this project that initially attracted you to getting involved.
Well, I really like doing comedic acting, even though I haven't done much of it before in the past. But the script was just so much different from anything that I'd seen lately. And I read the script and I thought it was hilarious. And then like the next day or the day after, I met up with Brandon and John, who co-directed. And I think we were definitely just on the same wavelength. Like we just got together and we were like, hey, this is fun. And I think that was important because, you know, the stuff that we're trying to make other people laugh with has got to make us laugh on the day. And so when I met up with them, and after reading Chris Molinari's script, I was fully in.
And how was it working with Pineapple? I mean, your character kind of obviously learns from him and his kind of infectious, kind of blissful outlook on life. Was that quite a similar thing that you experienced in real life too?
Yeah, not any specific person. I guess I definitely know that feeling when there's someone who seems to kind of have their shit together in a way that you don't. I definitely know what that feels like regularly. I've definitely been, probably Pineapple in real life. That's I really liked that they're kind of a mismatched odd couple in a way. And you can't really like explain why it works. I mean, you could say like he had like Pineapple has traits that Michael wants too, and Pineapple is living in the moment. You could say a little bit more than my character was at that point in his life, but yeah.
I know. I mean, obviously, he's got such a fantastic array of tattoos. Did you ever get the chance in one of your kind of in any downtime to speak to him and find out what the meaning behind a lot of them?
Yeah, I probably forget, but he has a WuTang Clan implant in his hand, and that was my favorite. I don't know. It's like I think it's silicone or something in his hand, and it's like he's a sculpture, a WuTang Clan sculpture on his hand.
Yeah, not many people can say that.
Not many people can say it.
Were you driving, or is it the magic of the movies? Were you ever at any?
Most of it is the magic of the movies. Oh. And no one has noticed. So and they did it practically. They did such an amazing job we had a bus in this storage unit in upstate New York, and they had digital projectors with footage. They call them plates of the roads that they were filming the exteriors on.
That's cool. Yeah, because I just wanted to know what it'd be like to drive a vehicle like that. Because I'm always it's when they turn corners. Every time I'm on a bus and it turns a corner, it always looks like it's going to crash, and they just somehow don't.
I know they somehow get it done
every time. I know.
I know. It's a matter of, no, I'm not. I don't know.
So did you? Because obviously the character is kind of like he's not. To say he's kind of at a crossroads seems a bit strong. I guess he's just trying to figuring out sort of where he is in his life, and so he's kind of taken on this job. I wondered if you had a kind of backup job, because obviously you've been acting for such a long time. But did you ever have another passion or a hobby or anything you kind of thought, well, if I don't become an actor, I'll do this?
Oh God. I'm not good at much much else. I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
But you could drive a bus.
I could drive a bus. I would have to get the proper license though.
But because I was
I
wondering,
think. Or can anyone drive a bus?
yeah. Well, I think you need a proper license, but you've been working because when you've been doing this for such a long time, you've obviously gained some of the most incredible memories that people of your age would have kind of experienced. But I guess with that, you might have missed kind of little shades of normality, you know, the kind of going to. I just wondered if you feel like you get to experience that through your characters and characters like Michael. Do you get to kind of because obviously he's, you know, sort of doing that kind of a bit of a dead end job. He's kind of, you know, he's out on a kind of campus. I wonder if you feel like you get.
I mean, obviously, I've been really lucky, but I didn't. But honestly, like growing up, I did have a lot of normal. Like I went to public. I graduated from public high school, and I would be there. When I wasn't working, and I would go off and come back, and I still talk to my friends from high school every day there. So I just think I had it. I just think I got more. Didn't feel like I missed out. I got to not go to school.
Yeah.
And go and do other things as well as have a normal life.
Oh yeah, of course. It was meant as a compliment. I meant you've had an incredible array of memories you would have obtained over the years. But what's it like growing up? What's it like growing up on the screen? Because obviously, you know, you've had sort of roles when you were a bit younger, kind of, and you can kind of go back and see them. Is it quite strange and surreal to know that you've seen yourself, or audiences have seen yourself kind of grow up in front of our very eyes?
I guess. It's weird. Well, I mean, that's a cliche to say, but it is really weird watching yourself on camera. Like, you know, if you watch a home video of yourself and you're like, oh, that's how I sound, and that's what I look like. That's the weirdest part about it. But everyone these days has videos of themselves when they were younger that are there forever, and so. Yeah. So do I. Does it become normal? Have you got used to just seeing yourself on screen and being, especially in the cinema, I guess, when you're kind of a huge, big version of yourself? That I don't think I've gotten used to. No, but it gets better. Yeah, easy, I'm sure. But what was it like? Yeah. But I mean, I was just wondering too, of course, it's not just stuff in films and cinema you're sort of known for, of course, the character in Ozark. That's obviously done. It's the fourth and final series. Was it quite sad that sort of coming to an end? Was it quite emotional, that whole sort of journey, that chapter being closed? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was talking with my coworkers yesterday, and we were talking about it. It was kind of like college for all of us. Like, this was the first job I did as an adult. Like when I turned 18, I got this, and it's been 4 years. You know, it's been 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it's totally. It's been pretty emotional knowing that it's coming to a close. But I do think there's a thing, I think there's a sweet spot for when shows should end. And yeah. Yeah, because I was wondering, because I interviewed years and years ago Maisie Williams on Game of Thrones, and she always said the first thing she was going to do when Game of Thrones was over was just dye her hair green. And because I just wonder, because I guess it's that thing, isn't it, when you're tied down to, and not tied down sounds like a bad thing, but when you're kind of attached to a long-standing TV show, you've got to maybe be available a certain amount of time every year. You've got to look a certain way. So is there something kind of strangely freeing about a series coming to an end? I guess it gives you that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, being on a show that was long running is I mean, first of all, I mean, the show completely changed my life and career for the better. Yeah, so it came with a lot of, I guess, security. But yeah, there totally is a sense of freedom, schedule wise, and also, you know, it's hard to like, I mean, it's definitely the longest running job. I mean, that's the thing about, it's definitely the longest running job I've ever done. And that's like the thing about TV is like, you don't have all the scripts, you don't know, or it's unlike a movie where you have the whole story and you can sort of map everything out ahead of hand. On a show like that, it's like, you don't know what's gonna happen years from now, or if the show will get canceled or what. So it's hard, you know, it can be difficult to try to like make it not seem stale to yourself, but yeah, there definitely, I agree. There's I'm sure there'll be a sense of freedom, or I'll never work again.
yeah, well that, yeah, and then you actually can get your bus driver's license. Yeah, yeah,
that impossible thing.
Yeah. What was just before, yeah, I'm still coming towards the end, but I just wanted to know what John and Brandon were like to work with on this project, because obviously I'm always interested to know about working with kind of two directors at one time. Is it quite helpful having two different voices and two brains on set?
Yeah, totally. And you know, but a lot of people, and I think a lot of people would think that it's it could be hard, like two people are giving you two different ideas or something, but like it's just more people to bounce. With this, it was just more people to bounce ideas off of, and it was more and more people in there. And it wasn't just us. I think we would all like get in a circle in between every shot and scene and just like just mess around and try to make each other laugh. So it didn't feel all that different. This is the only thing I've ever done. I hadn't worked with a directing duo, but I mean, you know, these guys, this is their first feature film, but they're by no means first time directors. They've done a ton of commercial work and music videos.
So my final question before I go, just looking ahead now, have you got much kind of in the pipeline, and is comedy a genre you'd like to explore more in the future?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what's next. I don't know. Things are a bit up in the air with COVID still and stuff. Yeah, comedy's definitely something I'm interested in.
Cool. Well, fingers crossed. It's good to see you in a comedy again, because I think you've got a knack for it if Drunk Bus is anything to go by. But thank you so much for your time today, Charlie. It's been a real pleasure. Best of luck to the movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!